Let's talk justice. This is our regular broadcast brought to you by the Department of Justice and Constitutional Development. We are saying it's regular because it is brought to you every Tuesday from 6:05 to 7:15. Every Thursday from 6:05 to 7:15. The intention is to do this until the people of South Africa, when they have an issue about any justice-related program, they're able to go to their community radio station and say, wait, I know where to find the answer. We have our regular program. You see, this department seeks to create what is called the spirit of trust between South Africans and what the government is doing, in this particular instance, Department of Justice. I think the department is tired of all these people who have decided to play the role of spokesperson of the department as if they're working for the department. The department has decided to invest a great deal of money. I'm even scared to say the amount. To say, we are going to put together this money as the department and ensure that the people of South Africa begin to understand what we are all about as the department. That cannot be measured. Today, I'm told I'm with a colleague who is a legal practitioner who speaks all the South African languages. What this means to you listeners out there, you can interact in what is called language. I'm told Ntate Brian can engage in that language. Any language, as long as it's a South African language, feel free. Ntate Brian, greet the listeners.
Good evening. I thank you for inviting myself. I'm Brian Matlhape, an attorney from Krugersdorp Justice Center, Legal Aid South Africa.
Well, as you heard, Ntate Brian Matlhape is a legal practitioner. That should tell you it's one of those lucky days you can ask any legal related question.
For free.
For free. Did you hear that? For free. Normally, people pay a great deal of money just to ask Ntate Brian, how much do you think am I going to pay if I want to divorce? I'm just saying that, I'm putting it out there. Ntate Brian normally would say, if you have 100,000, I will tell you how much you need to pay for all those services. Today we're talking Legal Aid South Africa. Legal Aid South Africa. Ntate Brian is going to share with us, what is this? When you talk Legal Aid South Africa, what are you talking about? He is going to tell us how you out there as a South African, you can access this service. He's going to tell us the challenges and the successes of this particular service offered by the Department of Justice. I'm going to tell you how you can participate in interacting with us, because at some point you'll be given an opportunity to ask and interact with Ntate Brian and ask these related questions. By the way, we're government. We are not going to stop you if you are going to watch something that has nothing to do with the competency area of Ntate Brian. I know Ntate Brian will take your questions to the relevant persons. Ntate Brian, to keep the ball rolling.
Yes, sir.
Let's share with South Africans, because I know this program seeks to heighten the people's understanding about the department services. Now, tell us, Ntate Brian, what is it that you want people to understand when you talk about Legal Aid South Africa? But before you introduce that, you see, people tend to assume that I know that guy plays for Kaizer Chiefs and not introduce himself. Yes. My name is Lennox Glass. I work here. Yes. Together, I'm flying this plane with two of my colleagues. Yes. Linda, who's out there, and Musutu, who's out there, and Manzini, who's out here. Manzini is going to make it possible for people to be able to see the handsome fellow I'm working with today, because this is on television as well. My name is Lennox Classing. I'm going to be with you in the next coming hour. Dr. Brian, to kick the ball rolling. Share with South Africans, what is Legal Aid South Africa?
Dr. Klaas, I thank you, and I also want to thank the listeners. I'm told that you broadcast throughout the entire country. I'm excited to be part of this interview, and I hope that since we coverage is throughout the country, that the length and breadth of the country, by the end of this interview, would understand who we, Legal Aid South Africa, are, and how they would be in a position to access us. Legal Aid South Africa is an autonomous body established by an Act of Parliament, Legal Aid Act 39 of 2014, which repealed the old Act of 1969. Legal Aid provides tax-free, tax-funded legal assistance to needy people, and we do so by ensuring that the rights of the people as enshrined in the Constitution are firstly respected and are secondly adhered to ensure that they come to fruition. So as Legal Aid South Africa, we receive our funding from the Fiscus Treasury Department through Department of Justice Constitutional Development, which on a yearly basis give us a budget to run our operations. Currently, we stand at a 1.8 billion rand, which we receive from the Fiscus as part of our running of our operations on a daily basis. Legal Aid South Africa operates from various centers. We do have 128 offices throughout the entire country. We headquartered at Braamfontein, Johannesburg, and of those 128 offices, which consist of following 64 justice centers spread throughout the entire country, as well as what we call the satellite offices, which are also part of our offices. And we have regional offices, 6 regional offices in the entire country, and we run a various, what we call the mixed model as legal assistants, which consists of in-house legal practitioners like myself, and we do have arrangement with the Law Society through a project we called Judicare Process, wherein accredited private practitioners who are on our database receives instructions to appear on behalf of legal aid clients, be it in criminal and or civil matters.
Dr. Brian. Dr. Brian is rolling. And Dr. Brian, I can tell you, as a black belt,
yes,
in the information around legal aid, I'm sure he can talk until tomorrow.
Yes,
but because this is a radio, the community radio stations have offered us an hour, yes, to try and deal with all this.
Unpack this.
I know you have said you are offering this to needy South Africans, yes, to needy people who require this service.
Yes.
Very soon I'm going to request you to define needy.
Yes.
You see, anyone sitting next to me is needy. I know that because, yes, I'm very poor. Yes. So needy, we are going to have to define so that whoever is about to call now and request for this assistance, yes, they need to understand if they qualify. We are going to talk about that. At this point, yes, we are saying to the callers, it is that time that you can get that dial. Call us on 800-14-888. 2446. 0800 142 446. You see, we know you might not have, what do they call that thing, data or airtime?
Airtime, yes.
I have Linda Mazibuko sitting that side. All what you do, you call and say, I'm Lennox. Here's my number. Linda will call you. This is how we roll in Tate Brian.
Yes.
We know it's not everybody that has airtime. So we're saying for you to interact with us today so that we can ask all these pertinent questions, make a call. Call 0800 142 446. You see, if we are not in the position to make that call, hook us up with your Twitter. Twitter is at DOJCD_ZA. This is our Twitter. You hook us in that fashion, you can interact with one of the colleagues that are there, ready, waiting for your Twitter. You see, it is a very, very progressive department. We even roll with Instagram. You see, if you want to interact with us using Instagram, it's at DOJCD. No one has an excuse to say, I did not have airtime, I did not know what to do, and the toll-free number is 0800 142 446. Dr. Brian,
Yes, sir.
define needy, because you have people who want to call you now.
Yes, sir.
People who have rendered or who have at some point in time utilized the service.
Yes, sir.
Maybe they were happy or not happy, they want to call you. And you have people who are having serious problem who want to call you as we are talking. So let's try and streamline. Tell us who is needy, because you are saying this service is offered to needy people. Hit us, Ndati Brian.
Thank you, Papa Lennox. Needy is simply defined as people who are firstly unemployed. Secondly, we talk of people who receive grants, pension, our elderly, and vulnerable groups, be it children, women, and people living with disabilities. And again, in the event of a criminal matters, you might find that an arrested person, being an accused, applies for legal aid, and we motivate that he receives legal aid solely on the strength that substantial injustice might otherwise result should he continue to represent himself, which simply means that he stands to be, if the court finds him guilty, he might go to court, rather he might go to jail for a lengthy period of time, or anything from 3 months and up. Okay. So we do not want such kind of people to go unrepresented. So we ensure that working clients or civil clients who comes into our offices, we do what we call, in order to evaluate whether these clients should receive legal aid, we do what is called a means test. When I say unemployed, I'm not saying per se that those who are employed do not receive legal aid, but we do so by conducting means tests to ensure that after all the deductions, this person is not is left with balance of 5,500 rand for a single household, and if it's for a dual household, it can be in the region of 6,500. And we also take into account if when we do our means test, whether this applicant has properties, or he is in a person whom, when we do means test, will be left with positive balance on his properties, which would mean that if we of the view that is the situation, legal aid might be refused. But we also encourage, what we do is that in the event when legal aid is refused, it does not stop there. We have appeal processes that starts with our regional operations executive, rather provincial operations executive, who, upon assessing that application which was refused at the justice center level, he or she will then decide whether legal aid should be approved. Alternatively, if it gets rejected again, it can be escalated to our National Operations Executive, who have the final say insofar as the application is concerned.
You see, Ntate Brian, remember I said maybe someone who's listening might need your services.
Yes, sir.
That was before I even finished that sentence. We had a call from Maputi from Mossel Bay.
Yes, sir.
He wants to engage you. Ntate Maputi, you are on air. Maputi.
Kunjani futhi?
Qabi vinika singava wena tata.
Ngiyavula kakhulu. Futhi bengicela ukubuza ukuthi how do they evaluate mhlawumbe sithi umuntu ukwi-court kwi-lower court sithi magistrates court ne uyiluzile ke ngoku ilo case kilenuka kwi-magistrates court but ufuna uaphila. Do they offer the assistance legal aid kubantu abanjalo abaningi?
Before we back wena Ntate Maputi, uthi you appeared, you were sentenced.
Magistrate.
Yes,
yeah?
But
Okay.
Were you represented by someone from legal aid or Buzmel?
No, the representative first go legal aid.
Legal aid, okay.
From the beginning, they represented legal aid.
Okay. Ntate Maputi, I'm very sorry for having this dialogue. I want us to deal with it in a very appropriate way. Are you talking from experience or you are saying should this be the case?
I'm not talking from experience.
Okay, thank you.
So that
Okay.
only be in the same position. Can you experience the same thing?
Did you get the question, Tate Brian?
Maybe if I can get clarity, are you talking about a civil or criminal case?
It can be criminal, it can be civil. It doesn't
Okay.
matter. Just asking. Can you
all right.
continue assisting on the offer number of
Okay. Okay.
Thank you. Mamela ku radio tata before we respond to that. Thank you Ntate Maputi Mossel Bay. Now let's go to Mkungundlovu. Sino Baba Umak. Baba Mark, you are on air.
Sawona ngibingelele naku sambeli sakho lapho. Nangilalele kumgungundlovu 107.6 FM, the sound of choice of KZN capital.
Nathi siyaqina baba, siyayazi Mkungundlovu. Siyayazi Mkungundlovu. Ungabuza umbuzo baba. Umamela ubaba uBrian.
Ngiyayizwa lento ubaba uBrian ayishoyo futhi siyabonga kakhulu ukuthi ugovernment asithethile indlela efana nalezi zabadizi ukuthi zisifundise. Mina engicela ukwazi ukuthi uma ufuna uku-applyela illegal aid board ukuthi usizo ummeli wakhona wenze njani. Okwesibili unesiqiniseko esigakanani ummeli we-legal aid board ukuthi icala lelo mhlambe kungenzeka ukuthi ulwini. Ngiyabonga ngizolalela kumgungundlovu FM.
Yo nanko umakazi uMark ingathi ubheke iquestions zami. Uthatha iquestion benzoyibuza hayi uthi ukuthi hayi ukhelekele baba. Siyazibongela umamela ubaba uBrian uzokuphendula. The board is in your court, sir.
Okay, thank you. Starting with the first question of Mabuti from Mossel Bay. Thank you for showing interest or showing that you follow closely with the services that we render to the people. Mr. Mabuti, if you want to apply for legal aid, and as you say, it can be either the criminal and or civil case. Let's start with the criminal case. Let's say, for argument's sake, you either represented yourself and or you were perhaps represented by a private attorney who was being paid for.
Uti was represented by legal aid practitioner.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So according to our standard operating procedure, an application at the outset, a practitioner of legal aid should ensure that he runs with the case from the time he completes our own official forms called LA1 forms to the point where the matter is already been exposed. And if it's in criminal case, if it goes to the accused gets sentenced, convicted and sentenced, and the very same person gives you instruction to proceed with a leave to appeal, a legal aid personnel should ensure that he assists the client accordingly. And if that application is refused, the next step is a step called petition. We proceed with that step. So we ensure that we run with the case until it's come to the end. And insofar as civil, the same process is the same, but on both situations, the point I would want to make is that in such situation we also check whether are there merits in such applications, and will advise you accordingly, wherein you will instruct us whether to proceed or not to proceed.
Let's go to the second. Maybe before.
Yes.
Before.
Yes.
Maybe you might find a way to respond to that, and try and get to respond to Badco, Alwa North, and Tsepo at Krugersdorp. You see, we want to get as many callers as possible. Yes. Just hold that response for Ntate Mark. But now let's take Badco, and after Badco, Ntate Tsepo, Krugersdorp, Berret, you are coming immediately after Badco. You see how represented?
Yes, sir.
It was KZN, it was Western Cape.
Yeah.
Now it is Eastern Cape.
Yes.
And we are going to
Krugersdorp.
Northwest.
Northwest, yes.
In less than 5 minutes
Yes.
already, we've gone through to 5 provinces.
Yes.
Ntate Badco, you are on air. Badco.
Ndathela uyaphila.
Ngikabaqaba tata man ngeva kuwe.
Nami ndiyaphila ndimempi okwamanzi asesivideni.
Ndiphethe uNtata Brian apha, ndiphethe uNtata Brian.
Mandimbulise na uNtata Brian. Lemibuzo nje emibini mina. Umbuzo wami wokuqala ngicela uqonda kuTata uBrian ukuba ingaba bayakwazi ukuthi bancedise abantu ngelixa sithi bancedise abantu abo bahlelelekileyo bangathathi intweni. Bayakwazi ukuthi babancedise okanye baba advise kwicala lento kuba umuntu uthe wabe uyatyholwa ngecriminal case echaza ukuba uthe warobha umuntu othile, emveni kuba emrobhile athatha ayovalelwa aphume ngebheyili. Emveni kuba ephume ngebheyili lo muntu lowo ufumana ukuthi lo muntu ebambisileyo ugqitha inyanga eziyi-4 akatsho tu uvele court. Xa usiya court iyapostpone icase. Xa usiya ngedate ethile leyilekweyo ufumana ukuthi igama lakho aliveli kwi-role yabantu ekumele ukuthi bavele court. Ingaba bayakwazi ukuthi babancedise abantu abanjalo? Umbuzo wami wokuqala lowo. Okwesibini, ndifuna uqonda ukuba zithini inkqubo zabo Tata uBrian kwa-legal aid ingakumbi apha kwi-rural areas. If uyaqaphela somzekelo apha elwana ubabona elo xesha xa bezile mhlawumbi kukho i-road show department ethile kuthiwa abantu baka-legal aid bakhona bathethe loo nto bayithethayo. Emveni koko ngeke uphinde babone. Uzawuqinisekisa kanjani ukuthi iinkonzo ziyafika ebantwini? Ndiyabulela kakhulu nomamela kuTakalani Community Radio.
Did you get that?
I got it.
Okay. At that point, thank you very much, Ntate Badco, representing Eastern Cape there. And now let's go to Northwest and engage with Ntate Tsepo. Ntate Tsepo, you're on air. Dumelang ra.
Ntate Brian ile a phela ka.
Ra phela ra.
Ntate Tsepo, I'm very sorry for disturbing you. You are so muffled. It's like you're putting your hand in your mouth. We are unable. We want to hear you. In fact, it's not even about us. South Africans want to hear you. Let's try and repeat the question.
Okay,
Yo. Ubuam komkoting tate. Ubuam komkoting. Try and move a bit. Because we really want to hear what you have to say. Okay. It's better than the first time. Okay, let's hit that.
Okay, legal aid maybe represent maybe a group about or represent only an individual.
Okay.
A group about which I would dedicate legal aid because of key party government. Any party government. I give a government on Janela saying copy the quality is a daily Tagore Obama part of the government. I know the Honda Tagore Akana.
Ow. And that Tsepo, I Muxwile Mila, I'm hope Untate Brian Muxwile. Tate Brian.
Yes.
Let me. Thank you, Tate Brian. Let's go to Soweto. Do you mind?
Yes, sir.
Let's just go to Soweto and get Lorraine to represent Abahlali Bako GP. You see, remember, this is the year of O.R. Tambo.
Yes, yes,
O.R. Tambo says, women are the flowers of the nation.
yes,
I know he's got so many reasons. Maybe we'll talk about that when we find time.
yes.
Yes, the flower of the nation is calling May Lorraine. May Lorraine, you are on air. Represent the women of South Africa. May Lorraine, ngizocela uswitche i-radio kancane, ane, because we're getting the echo. Represent the women, May. We're listening.
Simela mo studio ka fela ntate Brian ke na le potso ga ke itse ka re ke utlwa le bua ka nte nna ke na ya ka concern ke ka baka la ntlo mme wa ka o ile a fokola mmangwana ka in the sister a mo rekela yone but a mo rekela gore ke re nna ka ofela so o ile a nyalwa a thola ntlo ko Pimville so yanong o tlhokafetse and ke batla re ntlo buele ka monna. How can I do that?
May Lorraine, we've got your number, ne? You did leave your number there, ne? Ntate Brian is going to try and respond to you. And if it needs further engagement, I know Ntate Brian is going to refer your case to his colleagues, but he's going to talk to you right now. Ntate Brian, you've got so many questions to respond.
Yes.
Let me sit back and listen to you. Yeah.
Let's go back to Mark from Krugersdorp. I think it's Peter Matlhape.
Yes.
We have various justice centers or legal aid offices in and around the area of Krugersdorp, and we have Peter Marisbeck Justice Center, which is one of the biggest after Durban within the area of KwaZulu-Natal. I would like at the end will give the telephone or contact details as to how you can reach any of our centers. Like at the beginning I indicated.
Give the number.
Okay. I will give you the number. We have the hotline number. It's 0800 110 110. I'm sure they were looking for the pen. Okay.
Yeah.
We are reachable at this number 0800 110 110.
Thank you.
And we can also reach us at our website if you have access to internet. Website is www.legal-aid.co.za. And I will also look into our manual where we have a list of justice centers just to make sure that he goes to the relevant center.
Thank you.
Okay. And maybe if I understood, Mark, how to go about application of legal aid.
Yes.
Once you approach our legal aid offices as a working client, you will be caused to complete our forms. There will be a paralegal or an officer who will assist you to complete and or to give you advice. However, if it so happens that you apply for legal aid and you appear in a court or a local court, we do have practitioners who appear on a daily basis stationed in those courts, and perhaps upon your appearance, your rights will be read, and you will then have to make an option wherein you inform the court that I prefer to apply for legal aid because our lawyers are highly trained. Our lawyers are there to assist in all the situations. So we want to encourage our listeners that when they appear in courts and they are unable to pay for their services, or the family is unable to afford a lawyer of that, rather a private attorney, they have a choice to apply for legal aid, and forms will be completed. And the lawyer, once the application has been approved, then a attorney or candidate attorney, if it's in the district court, will be assigned to assist. Coming back to PATCO in Aliwan North, If I followed his question very well, I think I will also mix it with one of the questions asked by Tsepo.
Yes.
Now, you said if can legal aid assist the people in criminal cases or when they are out on bail? Yes, sir. You apply for legal aid if you are out on bail. I believe that at the time when you appear in court, before even the next date is postponed, the magistrate will ask you, like I've already explained, do you have an attorney, sir? In case you say, I do not have an attorney, appeared by myself, then the magistrate will then read you your rights. We say it's Section 35 of the Constitutional Rights, wherein if you are unable to afford a lawyer of your choice or a funded lawyer from your own pocket, then you'll have to apply for legal aid. And the point wherein you say that from Aliwal North, you only see our fellow legal aid citizen during road shows or what we call stakeholder engagements. I will encourage you that you approach your closest justice center we do have in that part of the Eastern Cape. We, like I've already indicated, that we have, if not a legal aid office, we have a satellite office which will assist you in matters that you feel you'll require legal assistance. So please feel free to approach our offices. You can also utilize the number that I've already given you to find out from which center might assist you or might suit you better. So in Aliwal North, we do have an office. It's at Site 99, Main Street in Sterkspruit. I will give you the phone number. It's 051 611 0348.
Aliwal North.
Aliwal North, yes.
Aliwal North. That's where Patco called.
I believe it's
yes.
Patco called, yes.
Patco, you have an office there. Go there, my chief. Go there and knock.
I'm telling you, they will never return you. You'll be assisted to the best of they will assist you to the best of their abilities, and you will leave that office satisfied, say. And coming to Tsepo,
yes.
We do not discriminate insofar as single representation and or group representation. However, what we encourage our practitioners is that if and this has happened, it's happening almost on a regular basis since we have our strikes and you see people striking and so forth. They are arrested for public violence. You have multitude
common purpose.
Yeah, you find that there are more than 30 or 40. What we do is that a legal aid attorney will perhaps represent 4, and the rest we will appoint various attorneys we called judicial practitioners. Like I explained the model that we use. So we don't encourage one attorney to appear for all of them, but they receive legal aid, and through appointment of judicial practitioners, their rights are also protected.
And for free?
For free. They don't have to pay even a cent. And the other part that I want to assure Tsepo is that can I trust legal aid as they are part of government? We are not different from the Public Protector, Human Rights Commission, and all those government-funded organization. But to remember at the beginning I said we are autonomous, independent body, meaning that we don't get instructions from other personnel. We act on our own instructions, and our record it's there to see. For the interest of time, I can just say to you that we just financial year 2016-2017, we've represented, insofar as finalized matters, 445,625 and accepting new criminal or civil matters, 444,962. So you could see that based on that, across all our 128 offices, we don't be guided as to how we should operate, and we are free, and I can guarantee you, and even on those finalized matters, we have the best of the results. And in cases that goes even to High Courts on appeals, Supreme Court of Appeals, we have a high rate of success, in excess of even 80% of that.
Dr. Tsepo, as you can hear, we do not discriminate. I know we have Mayor Lorraine to take care of, but I have these two callers. They've been hanging on there. Let's just take them very fast, and then we'll deal with three of them. The first one is Patricia, another flower of the nation. Patricia from Freedom Park in Soweto, and Inokutula from Soweto. Oh, Soweto is represented. Next door, we have Utabo ko Atteridgeville. In that sequence, first we'll take Patricia, and immediately Inokutula after Patricia. Don't even wait for me to say, hit, you come. And then after Nokutula, Tabo, in that sequence. Now, flower of the nation, Patricia, hit us. You're on air. Amadu Memme. Our government, Rikausis.
The asset to my late husband, the old Kokasepinka, 2005.
Okay.
So it's my lady up and down, and then because it is not marriage certificate, Kinali Wano Lama Lovod, Kinali Banaba Chulian, Katibana, Kibonaba Transemba contested, na Akina say. And then since then, I couldn't trade
okay.
Until Kibeke for Law Society, Barry Babona lawyer is Namlatu. You know, the whole year, the king one Abankarava, Cabo November Barai, Victor Unwala Happika January, Mongore who fell a jar. I fell a very Armunimulat. But Kakra also Mufuni Archico Propono Pretoria and refer la mo Johannesburg or Kihaufi. The more thing is the same as last year. I still can say, yes, I have King all affidavit to apply. This year, King all the affidavit to apply. I
Bona, my sister, Bona, me Patricia. Kitswere Ntate Brian Mo. Don't drop your phone in case Ntate Brian wants to ask you a question or two. Kiatsiba Ntate Brian is going to hook you up. Ntate Brian, do you have a question you want to ask me, Patricia?
Yeah.
Tswara jwalo me Patricia, tswara jwalo. Lawyer ya government, lawyer ya rona. Clever tata. He wants to ask you a question now. Please listen carefully. Ntate Brian.
I just want to advise me Patricia. The easiest thing that you can do, you said you are in Freedom Park.
Yes.
How far is it from Maponya Mall in Soweto?
It's double transport, but I can.
Okay, and then if you have to go to the CBD in Johannesburg?
It's 30 to 40 minutes.
Okay. What I want to do...
Which one is easy, Maponya CBD?
I will refer to Soweto Justice Center. And these are the numbers. We are right at Maponya Mall, in the mall itself.
Yes.
Yeah, please, I've heard you talking about Law Society and so forth. It's not easy to get into your matter, especially if it has gone through at that level. It's easy when you come with all the documents and approach our office, like I said, Soweto Justice Center or Soweto Legal Aid Office. Then you will be assisted accordingly, because we have to look into the entire case. I cannot easily say off the radio. This is what, but I can guarantee you will be in a position to assist you.
Okay, my Patricia, let's do like this. I want to commit Ntate Brian Mo in front of you. Go to that office, tell those people that you were discussing with Ntate Brian.
Yes.
Say Ntate Brian asked me to come here.
Me today.
And off the line of this program, we will give you the telephones and Tate Brian. Okay. We will say, you can call Tate Brian. Tate Brian said, I must come here. So we've got your number, Me Patricia Akiri. Yep. After this program, we will call you. And then we will give you, Tate Brian is going to call you. Tate Brian is going to give you his number. And Tate Brian is going to make sure, Akiri Tate Brian, yes, is going to make sure that you are going to be assisted. I'm not saying Tate Brian is going to do magic. But I can assure you, once Tate Brian is done with you, you will know that this government is working. Are you happy? Are you happy, man?
I'm very happy to hear you.
Okay, we'll give you a call after this. Let's get Nokutula to be happy as well. We will call you. Nokutula, you're on here. Letting Tate Brian make you happy as well.
Yeah.
Sasbulisela sis Nokutula.
Hello.
Tate Brian.
Yebo ma'am.
Yebo, siyabonga kakhulu for the program, and also thanks to the FM. Baba Brian.
Yebo ma'am.
Inkinga engenayo lana, umntwana wa attempta i-suicide esesikoleni because she's being marginalized with the condition that is called ADHD. So she was ridiculed because she's taking Ritalin. And then one of the child wathatha igama lelokhuza lephilisi wayoligugula mayesebuya ngakusasa she made fun of what umntwana lo wambiza ngegama uthatha iphilisi lamahlanu. So umntwana ke waba depressed ke wagcina sithi attempted suicide. Waba admitted esibhedlela for 2 months. After coming back esibhedlela, I had his documents, his medical certificate. No, something was following. Abasafuna ukumthatha esikoleni. Okay, it's a long story. But in the end, there was somebody from a district. He said to me, even if you can come to the district, you'll find me. No, don't worry. I won't come to the district, ma'am. I proceeded. Via the office of Mr. Panyaga. I couldn't get help in a corner. I was promised that they would call me. They never called me. I proceeded to the legislature. A legislator, I was promised as well that they will call me. I was not called. I went back again after 2 weeks to the legislature. I was so depressed. The very same day, the way it's depressing in Lower Hamburg, I landed at ICU.
Oh, man.
I from ICU. And then someone lapho sharing esikoleni conclusively ukuthi umntwana naye akasafili free ukungena kuleso sikolo. Okay, fine. Bangibusela kubani futhi loyo futhi sibani bagcine bathi back to kusibani. Mase ngibuyela futhi kuyo loyo is one of the officials wathi listen mama, all of us is nabantwana. There's no way ukuthi leyo mntwana loyo angathola ispace. Ngibuyele back kuleso sikolo sobona nje. Excuse me, ma'am. I mean, if I just figured at the school, you have to be empathetically. I went to the Constitutional Court, and then Constitutional Court, I proceeded to Human Rights Commission. Because then there would be something is happening. As we speak, I was faced by the Department of Education. I even told them that. And it's so sad because that's Saluguti Sinasanga and Mr. Yusufi. But I'm a stumbling blocks that full up and never bagging together. Uguti Kulumele Nabe. Uzo Yaguma lines, okay, fine. But please, at least money communicate and you don't tell us Ganji. I'm an ambassador. I'm living with the condition as well, ADHD. So I agreed to the specialized unit number 55, whatever, it's Fox Street. I was told that it's phone after 2 weeks. Nabangafonelanga lapho district. Ngabona bangafoneli, I proceeded to Human Rights Commission. So it's so depressing that one. You can imagine, yomntwana uyarelapse once again. angisazi nami ukuthi ngenzeni tonight. Ngiyazama indaba zama-homeschooling, but I'm not succeeding because you have to access ngama-data, all these things. Hello?
Hello.
No, simamele siswami enasifuni nokudisturba. Asifuni nokudisturba.
That's the way you depress ngakhona. The way you depress. You can imagine homeschooling.
Yo.
Nini kufanele ngilandelane nalo mntwana uyaphuma nini ngibone nini sekafuna futhi ukuzibulala. Iphilelani futhi mina. Yes, I never asked to have this condition. Why do I have the ADHD? She understands herself. ADHD, and I'm paying such a lot of money.
Bonus is one, sis no tula. You see, I have colleagues who are government, you know. I have colleagues that side. What they are doing right now, they are trying to locate the number of MEC Panyaza. We are going to... And if
I've asked on several conditions. You know what? Even I want to volunteer, especially here in our black country, and teach about the ADHD.
Siswam, city right now, from government to government, what we are trying to do, as we are talking to you right now, you see, we are trying to get in touch with Utatu Panyas. We are going to talk to him right now. We're going to call him, and we're going to explain to him. Sumtoli Utatu Panyas. Ask him to it. Okay.
No, mama, no. You have to be empathetic. How do you take your child who was suicidal? Because it's a triggering point.
It's a very painful thing that we are relating now. And this is what we're saying. Untate Brian, umamele everything. Everything oichoy.
It's a lot. There's a lot that I went through. Please, I can't.
Bona mawam. We manage ukuluma no MEC Upanyaza, ane? Ndiyapaisa. Bona ma, inamba yako sinayo. But.
Other things, he needs to be, because I volunteered on so many schools. They told me that, yeah, there's a school here, so waiting, it's a remedial school. I said, no, excuse me, there's no remedial school. I've been practically involved into that school. It's God one is a laptop, and there's nothing. I don't have remedial school laptop, because to be a remedial teacher, after having a teacher's diploma, you have to go again.
Bona sisinokuthula siswam cela umamele kuthi ke manje ne like busitsho baningi abantu abafuna ukukhuluma, but we cannot leave your case unresolved. Sizamile sathi sifonela uMEC ane uMEC sizam explainela ukuthi yini inkinga yakho, masimthola sizophinda sikufake emoyeni ukhulume no MEC ukuthi besimtholile ya break, but we want to promise you we are going to find a way of linking you no MEC. Umntwana igovernment ithi umntwana afuneka bese esikolweni ngesikhathi sesikolo, i-teachers bese esikolweni zifundise, but ke dihleli nommeli apha, ngizocela azame summarize, because ayazophinda sikufonela after this program ukuthi sizayenza kanjani. In fact, inde indaba yakho wena sisinokuthula, siza kufonela after le program, umbaba uBrian uzokufonela athethe nawe, maybe by then sabe simtholile no MEC. I want to promise the rest of the listeners out there, you see, we take these calls very, very serious. Next week, when we do this program on Tuesday, we will give listeners a feedback. City, quick case kabani, this is what has happened. MEC has just conducted us. Usebhizi meeting in right now. but sizokhuluma naye ngine-message ebuya kuye uthi usebhizi. Sisinokuthula ungacimi ifowuni yakho, we will call you after this program. Ndifuna sihambe siye kuThabo e-Atteridgeville. Thabo simluzile. Thabo, we are very sorry about that. We are going to call you back, but let's give Untate Brian an opportunity to talk about the question that was raised by Lorraine, no me Patricia, and a bit of about indaba ka ume uNokuthula. So many questions that. Siqala ba ku Patricia. Abkhumula Patricia.
Oh yes. Maybe you said Lorraine. Should I start with Lorraine first?
Lorraine, yes. Lorraine.
Okay. Thank you, Lorraine. I've heard your question about the issue relating to the house. It will be easier if you approach, since you are in Soweto, our legal aid office in Soweto. I've mentioned that we are at Maponya Mall. Please bring with all the documents that you do have, so that we can make a proper assessment whether there's a case or not. And you made mention of the fact that there's an issue relating to, I'm not so sure, perhaps maybe it's inheritance of the house. If there's a will or there's any document that you might bring, please do so, because an assessment will be properly made once you have all those documents at hand. So we'll encourage you to approach our Soweto Legal Aid Office and see how best we can be of assistance to you. And in the event there's an issue that has to deal with maintenance and or flowing out of the estate, and there are perhaps maybe your aunt was maintaining children, her children and or children that were in her custody and or under her guardianship, please bring all the information that to see how best we can attend to you. Coming back to Me Nokuthula. Let me just. Me Nokuthula, I had your question. Indeed, so education it's a constitutionally entrenched right, and every child has to be guaranteed education at all cost. And if need be that the child needs any form of assistance, be it medically and so forth, because you made mention of conditions that made and or occurred leading your child to be suicidal. Since this matter, you made mention of the fact that Human Rights Commission, they are handling the matter. Perhaps maybe if you can return back to them to find out the feedback as to how far or what is it that they are currently doing. At hand, I wouldn't be in a position to make a proper assessment once we have all the, especially insofar as from the legal point of view. But basically, no child should be removed from any form of schooling without appropriate or genuine reason to that fact. And as you've already heard, that attempts have been made to solicit the assistance of the MEC, who I've perhaps seen on media and on TV has been proactive insofar as the children's rights are concerned for schooling and so forth. Remember that South African Schools Act also guarantees a right of schooling to a child, and I understand your plight, and I understand that your concern as a parent. Indeed, so the future of tomorrow lies in the hands of our children. What you're doing, it should be commended, and a proper assistance will be sought. And from our side, I would want to say that perhaps maybe since Human Rights Commission are handling the matter, please return back and see how far are they with that matter.
Okay. We have a last caller.
Yes.
Untate Thabo from Atteridgeville.
Yes.
After that, we're very sorry. We do not want to take advantage of the good heart of the stations.
Yes.
Stations of Limpopo, are you there? Stations of Free State, are you there? Stations of Mpumalanga, are you there? Stations of Northern Cape, are you there? I'm raising you in Kiani Exposer. You are going to have to convince us that you participated in these programs. No caller from these provinces. How do I tell Ntate Brian that were stations that participated there?
Yes.
You are going to convince all of us that you participated. Yes. Ntate Thabo, it's your lucky day. Close our program. Thabo.
Hello.
Warata unyamalla Thabo. it's no, that's fine, Tate Thabo. We want you to close our program tonight. Ask your question.
Yes, firstly, I would like to thank Tate Brian, the Justice Department, or the program. It's very informative.
Thank you.
My first question is, what is the minimum salary for legal aid South Africa? And then my second question is, how long the process takes for legal aid South Africa or case?
Short to the point. Is that right?
Maybe if you can explain to us what kind of a case do you have?
Okay. My dad's car was stolen at a mechanic place. We went for repair. So it was legal aid South Africa.
Okay. So, Koloik imo libitson lamang? Okay. What you can do, please, you are in Atteridgeville, isn't it so?
Yes.
Please approach our center, Legal Aid Center, Pretoria. We are at FNB building, second floor. That's correct. And if you need the telephone number, it's 012 401 92 00. Or you can even use the advice line 0800 110 110. And coming back to the threshold of application for legal aid, I've explained that if an applicant is employed, we assist up to earnings of 5,500 rand for a single household, and dual household it's 6,500 rand. However, we have to do what is called the means test, because it might be so that you have assets which can be realized, and on a properly done assessment, it might be that perhaps you may qualify or not qualify. So it is proper that you approach our office, legal aid office, that I've already referred you to see and to also evaluate your dad's case. Are we together?
All right. Yes,
and insofar as the process, how long it once we accept rather we approve legal aid, the process starts as soon as possible that we approve, depending on perhaps if there are any documentation or any other thing that the office would want from you to assist them to ensure that your case is brought to a speedy resolution.
On that note, Pelindaba Community Radio Station, Ipelindaba ye program yetu, but we wish to say, accept our apologies that Eric Sibongile Linda, Success Lebu Simon Matlhape Sibongile, Mita Shelley. We want to say to you, we got your call, but we are unable to take it because of the time. And I want you, Community Radio Station, at this point to answer this question. Can you say right now, quantitatively and qualitatively, you have managed to change the listeners of your stations in the way that they understand the issues? I'm yours, Lennox Class, saying let's meet again next week on Tuesday. It's Papa and Tate Brian.
Thank you.
Say bye-bye to people.
I want to extend my sincere gratitude to GCIS for this gesture of goodwill in inviting us, Legal Aid South Africa, to impart the knowledge and ensure that not only that justice it's given to people, but it must be seen. It's programs like this that ensure that our people get justice. And as one of our what we call mantra, we say, Legal Aid South Africa, your voice for justice. Wow. So we are for justice. So we want to ensure that justice.
Microphone is sweet. Yeah. I know you are not going to want to leave this microphone. Thank you very much. We hope we can extend this opportunity for you to come again next week.
We thank you.
Bye-bye, listeners of South Africa.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.